Hello, I'm Tom Weeks. Welcome to this Klusterbox tutorial. In this tutorial, we're going to discuss shortcut remedies, or remedy shortcuts. This is a functionality which is going to help to make the remedy process a little faster, especially if you do it in a certain way. To turn this on, you go to Management, the Management menu, and then you'll go down to Spreadsheet Settings. Okay. Now the default value is off. I already have them switched to on. So you'll go down to Improper Mandate Spreadsheets, Remedy Shortcut Sheet. You turn that on, and you can also enter a remedy rate. So say it's just the hourly rate for or it could be the average hourly pay for a carrier. So let's make this like $30 or something. Or you can make it $25. Okay. And then also, if you go down to 12 and 60-hour violations, that's another one. You can turn it on. Make that remedy $25. And then off-bid assignment violations, turn that on, change it to $25. Okay, and apply, and submit. Okay, so now when you go to any one of those three spreadsheets, the improper mandates, the 12 and 60-hour violations, and the off-bid assignment violations, you'll have that functionality for remedy shortcuts. So I'll show it to you. So let's do the 12 and 60-hour, the overmax spreadsheet first, because it's simpler. Okay, so the spreadsheet generates, and the first sheet looks normal. The second sheet is going to have this, you'll be able to see this column, this new column, which is going to have remedy in it, right? And what it does is it takes this column B, which is the violation in hours, and then it multiplies it by this field, G4, which is $25, and it gives you a remedy, right? Now, you may want to use this if you're using a fixed remedy rate, right? But if you're not using a fixed remedy rate, if you're using like the carrier's actual pay, their pay grade, then this is going to be off, right? So it only works if you're using a fixed rate for all the carriers. Now, I imagine if you're using some sort of, if you're using the actual pay scale, you could put a multiple in here, which is to change that. But you'd have to know the pay grade for every single one of these carriers, right? But so this is only if you're using just a fixed dollar amount for all the carriers, just assuming, the carrier with the most seniority at the station and the newest carrier who's a PTF or a CCA, they're all going to be given a remedy at the same dollar amount. So that's how this works. Okay, so let's close this one out. And let's go to the off-bid sheet. Okay, now this one is the same as before, except it has a new tab, which is a summary tab. And the summary sheet's going to show up regardless of whether you have the remedy on or not. But if you have the remedy on, it's going to have this remedy column. And this remedy column is going to, again, it's going to be a multiple of this column, G, which is the hours of violation, and this cell, G4. And that's going to give you the value that's in the column H. So again, if you come to a settlement where there's a fixed dollar amount, it could be $25, it could be, the highest pay rate, it could be the average pay rate, whatever you and the counterpart and management agree upon. That could be part of the settlement. I mean, I typically don't do this myself, but I did this on the recommendations of other people who resolve grievances this way, just to help them save some time. Typically what I'll do is I'll just say, I want, 3 hours and 12 clicks, at the straight rate or something like that, or at the 50% rate, or at the overtime rate, whatever. That's typically how I do it. But if you want to do it at a flat rate, at a flat dollar amount rate, then this will work for you and it will save you time. Okay, let's close this out. Now for the final demonstration here, we go to a mandates spreadsheet. Now this is the same as it always is, except it's got this extra sheet, which is going to have remedy in it. Okay. Now, again, you can change this remedy directly on the sheet. You can change it to 0, and it's going to zero things out. If you put in $15, it's going to change the calculations. If you put in 30, you can see it does the math on the fly. So, and again, the remedy is column I, which is the total of these, 7 days, at times whatever is in H4, this cell right there. So, but when you do improper mandate grievances, the violation is not, that somebody worked overtime, because management can mandate people to work overtime provided there's not enough availability, or they can, not assign people overtime if there's not enough, if there is no overtime and they haven't mandated off the list, right? So what I did for this spreadsheet here is I created this equalization little section here. And this is going to be a tool for you to help you calculate the correct remedy. So you would, so say you don't want to deal with Sunday, right? So you go to Sunday here, you delete all those values, you would highlight all this, delete it, and delete that, and delete this. Okay, so now this remedy shows 0, and this cumulative remedy has been altered as well. Okay, now let's go to the first day. Right, now the first day, this is kind of how it typically goes at my station. Now this is information from my station, but I've changed the names so nobody's privacy is violated here. But this is actual information. So this actually happens here. What we have is availability from the OTDL and auxiliary assistance. The total availability for this day is 2 hours and 45 clicks. Okay, but the total amount of mandates is 91 hours and 84 clicks, right? So, what you want to do, the correct, now this will show you the equalization, and this kind of gives you a little guide, right? But the gist of this is, you have to adjust mandates to you have to adjust whatever the biggest number is to the lowest number, right? And that's going to give you the correct remedy. So you would have to decide, of everyone on this list here, who should get the remedy, right? Who was improperly mandated, and it's really just arbitrary. So let's say the remedy is 2 hours and 45 clicks. Let's just, for the sake, say, let's give this remedy to Lawrence. Since he worked 2 hours and 44 clicks, he was mandated off of his route. So we can delete these people, delete these people, delete these work assignment carriers. Okay, and you can see that this remedy in the cumulative column is going down as well, right? And when you go to this equalization, you see that it's just 1 click apart, and that's fine. So you have a carrier who wasn't maxed out from auxiliary assistance, and you have an OTDL or a non-list carrier who was improperly mandated, and they'll get a remedy as well. And you could say, okay, we're going to resolve this at the 50% rate. That would be 0.5% or 0.5, and that's 50%. But say you want a remedy of 100%, right? That would be 1. The multiple would be 1. So you can adjust that on the fly as well. And and so on, and that's how you would get a remedy that's how you would use this sheet to help find a remedy. And also, let me show you one other thing. So if we go to this list and we go to the availability spreadsheet, this is going to give us a spreadsheet for availability for the week. And the availability that they have on a given day is really at the bottom of this stack here. So, and the availability is going to go to 0 if they worked 12 hours in a day, or if they work 60 hours, within the week, within the service week. So once they get to 60 hours, see, this carrier got to 60 hours by Thursday. So after that, all their availability is going to be 0. And most of these carriers, this carrier here does have availability, Cantu. Okay, so yeah, we're going to, say, let's look at Andrews here. So we could say on Thursday, definitely Thursday and Friday, they had 0 availability. So we'll go to our spreadsheet here, and Cantu. We can say Thursday, hold on a second. Oh, Andrews, okay. Yeah, Andrews. Andrews. So it shows availability on this sheet because they didn't work 12 hours. But the reason they didn't work 12 hours is because they were already at the 60-hour limit. So go ahead and 0 those 2 out. Okay, and you could do that, for everyone on the overtime desired list, right? So Buchanan. Okay, Buchanan, we could see that Thursday and Friday, no availability. So we can zero this out. So typically you're looking at the end of the week, because typically by Friday people have gotten to the 60 hours. And that's going to help you get an accurate remedy. All right, let's do one more. We can see Cat 2. Now, they never reached 60 hours. Right? Their cumulative weekly only got to 44 hours. So we would, well, it shows no violations there. So let's try De La Cruz. Did they work 60 hours did they get to 60 hours by Friday? De La Cruz, yeah, they had no availability on Friday because by the end of their shift on Friday, they were at 73 hours, right? So we'd go to this sheet and zero out that availability. So you see that the availability is rapidly going down because carriers at my station are being worked to over 60 hours, you know. So this gives you an accurate picture. And then, so doing that and combining that with the equalization, you find that you're always subtracting to get the appropriate remedy. You know, you're either subtracting availability or you're subtracting mandates. And because, you know, right now as it stands, you know, before I've done all the subtraction, the remedy here is $13,226, and that's assuming everybody's getting the remedy rate of $30 an hour. That might change if we put that to 50% rate, an additional 50%. But yeah, each one of these columns has a remedy percentage, and then there's a remedy rate at the top. Of course, that doesn't take into account if you're going to pay carriers at the pay scale that they're currently at. This is a simplification of that process, and you don't have to use this, but I mean, even if you don't want to use this remedy column, it could help you to find a remedy just by, you can find the remedy with the hours, right, as opposed to the dollar amount. So the sheet will come in handy whatever type of process you have for finding a remedy. Okay, and let's not say that. So the OTDL weekly availability worksheet, that's going to come in handy to tell you who's been working, you know, when people got to the 60-hour limit and they can't be worked anymore. And that's a big factor at my station. I don't know about what station, what the situation is at other people's stations. So I guess that should be about it. Thanks for watching this tutorial.